It's another beautiful day, a good day, and welcome to Sports Preview live on Buwa Community Voice. And today, just like I said, is a day to reckon with. My name is CI Zero. Remember, this is brought to you by our friends and partners, yes, Max Bet. Today, we're definitely going to be talking about Nigeria and their qualification series. First off, Nigeria versus Gabon, where we have seen and heard a lot happening with the Nigerian sport squad, I beg your pardon, and of course, a lot of other things are happening with the Gabon squad, especially with their front man, yes, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. We'll be talking all of that this beautiful day. I will tell you to join us on this particular one as we take you on a beautiful ride. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back. This is a sports preview. And just like I told you, it's going to be a very, very interesting day as we are definitely going to be diving into Nigerian issue, especially against Gabon, which will be happening today as it hot. Definitely, I wouldn't be doing this alone because I've got this gentleman and another quintessential lady with me this beautiful day. On my right is Bonfrey Joe, the only but one Arsenal fan, very credible man, who is definitely going to be dissecting everything as regards both the protocol and, of course, a little this and that into the Nigerian team and outside the Nigerian team. And of course, by my left, I've got this quintessential, I like the quintessential part. Yes, the quintessential lady with me with everything Nigeria, everything, she's wearing the Nigerian jersey, so she is very prepared to defend anyhow we think bring them today. Yes, Chiwendo, you're welcome to this one this afternoon. How are you doing? I like your smile. You're like saying Nigeria win today.
I'm giving it to them.
Okay, so yes, we will be talking about Nigeria, just like I said, and the Nigerian team started with a little hiccups where, just like I said at the beginning, a bit of the settlement that was supposed to be given to them by the Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF, and of course, I think it brought about their being, not present for their supposed training as against this match, and it brought a lot of heat to that particular team, which of course the attention has been drawn, and I think things has been settled because we have the Nigerian captain team, the team captain Charles Ekong, who actually came out to sound very positive, followed by some other persons in the team, including Samuel Chukwueze, and just to mention a few of them who equally came out to show that this particular team has the prospect and then is ready to go head on with the Gabon team, and then of course see where we will be going. Now, talking about the Nigerian team, we have the lineups where we have Samuel Chukwueze, where we have Williams Ekong, where we have Ajayi, where we have Benjamin Frederick, just to mention a few. We have the midfielders Alex Iwobi, Raphael Onyedika, Frank Onyeka, Winifred Ndidi. And of course, the forwards where we have Ademola Lookman, Samuel Chukwueze, just like I mentioned before, Victor Osimhen, Moses Simon, just to mention a few. Now, the point here is, where do you think this Nigerian team is lacking? Because for us to be at the playoffs shows that the Nigerian team just didn't perform fantastic at the beginning. Where do you think the Nigerian teams need to concentrate on to be able to get to where they're going? Because remember, the Gabonese team is equally on fire. Aubameyang has equally, shown that even at his age, at late 30s, middle 30s, I beg your pardon, he is very, very vibrant, and he is having goals to go with. About one of the biggest goal scorers in the Gabonese team right now, and then it's something to reckon with. So where do you think the Nigerian team need to improve to be able to make it work as regards this qualification today?
I think at this point, these have been the major issue even from the group's phase before they eventually qualified to the playoffs of the FIFA World Cup. I think where they should be working on is the midfield, because we could see that in the game against them, which I feel like was an outstanding match. Out of all the matches that they have played in the group before coming into the playoffs, the midfield has been disastrous. Yes, Ndidi, all know him to be a defensive midfielder. And then when you bring him to pair with Alexi Obi in the front to play as a creative midfielder, you see that there is a problem. But if you notice that game against Benin, Chukwueze was brought a little bit down to the midfield, and you could see that the two goals that came earlier was courtesy of the assist from Chukwueze. So he was playing from the midfield. So that's to tell you that our midfield is actually the problem. Defense, we want to question that our defense is actually an issue, but I think the pairing between Frederick and Kevin Bassey really worked to an extent, and then now you're not bringing Simi Ajayi, who is more formidable, who is more solid. Pairing with Kevin Bassey, who has been doing well for his side against Fulham. But I'm a little bit skeptical about Kevin Bassey because his game for Fulham, he made some silly errors, even though the coach came out to say that it can happen to any footballer. But I think it's a problem now because that mistake could bring some talking, and maybe the Gabonese might look at that tape over and over again and see where they can actually bring in such kind of play to affect him. But all the same, Kevin Bassey has been fantastic. He has been solid, a very aggressive, and a very serious player. So pairing him with Simi Ajayi in the defense, not so bad, but we should be concentrating about the midfield because Alex Iwobi in his team in Fulham, he's not playing in the defensive role. He plays from the wing, and most times he plays in a very neutral role that gives him the opportunity to always move forward and do his thing. But you bringing him to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, making him the creative man in the middle, I think that's a problem because Alex Iwobi is not so fast. He wants to do his thing. Allow me to be free in all areas. I think that's where Onyedika can come in to help in that regard. So, but for me, I think the problem is the midfield. Even when you want to question the goalkeeper, I think Wabali has been fantastic. Maybe one little pair talk, it can motivate him and bring back the Wabali we used to know. But I think generally, where we should be looking at is the midfield for Nigeria. If we get it right, I mean, people that can score the goals are there. Osimhen, you just need to get him the ball and he's ready to score. We have Olukman too, not doing bad. Moses Simon also not doing bad. Tolu Arokodare, so they are fantastic front man that can do the finishing. Just get the ball to them and they are done. So I think the midfield is the problem here.
Oh, okay, so looking at that particular midfield, do you agree with Chimendo on that particular one? Because I feel, aside from the midfield, some persons equally came out to complain about the Nigerian goalkeeper, Nigerian number one goalkeeper, Wabali, who has had disciplinary measures too, disciplinary issues, I beg your pardon. And then I think it equally went to affect Nigeria in some cases, and probably might still affect Nigeria, having the fact that he might engage something that might give him red card in some occasions. But then, what do you have to say about this?
I don't think Nwabali is a problem in that squad because the problem mainly for a keeper to be good, you have to have a good defense, and the defense line to tell you there are professionals there, good as in professional people that are playing in different leagues of the world. But the major issue is the midfield. Iwobi alone cannot do that job as a creative midfielder in that front line. Just like she said, Chukwueze came in and you saw the changes that brought in the last game. And the only thing they need, the front line needs people that will at least give them the ball. As in a good connectivity between the midfield and the front line will give us the win in the match. Let's leave about the defense. The defense is okay. Maybe Nwabali may have some flaws, but no matter what it takes, if the midfield can be able to manage the Gabon side today, believe me, that is going to be a plus for Nigeria.
No, but we saw the Fulham match against Everton, and then we saw how ineffective Iwobi was in that particular match as far as I'm concerned. Now, do you think he's in that form to be able to execute for Nigeria as the leading midfielder in that particular team as he stands?
I think going into this match, a lot of Nigerian players' form coming into this playoff have not been superb. Like I talked about Kevin Bassey. I mean, it goes on and on. Even Stanley Nwanda has not been effective for Chippa United in South African League. And then coming into this game, Lukman, you also the saga he had with his team at Atalanta. So going into if we begin to talk about their form going into this game, it's not something to write home about. But I believe that club side and national team is all different ballgame because they are like what we used to see in Fulham when it comes to national team. You see that the big clubs they roll and play it to his best ability. We also that in the Nations Cup. That's to tell you that national team and club football they are not the same thing. So I think going into this game, the positivity is high. Yes, the saga that went on and on with NFF being resolved. I think going into this game, they would want to know what is at stake. Alex Iwobi, we can't compare his form in his club side and then his form in Nigeria. I think he has mastered how to play in the Nigerian squad. That is, I think his best is beginning to show under Eric Shell. And I do not think it will affect him, even Kevin Bassi and the rest of them, including Stanley Nwabali. I don't think it will affect them. They give their 110 best in the national team. And I think that's basically what will happen against Gabon.
Okay, so basically, do you agree with Chinwendu on this particular narrative? Because I think judging by statistics or judging by performances based on what we've watched so far, the only person who has stood out effectively is Victor Osimhen by the number of goals, scoring a hat-trick. They just concluded the Champions League, and then a lot of other things to do with it over the leagues. Yes. So, do you think that the other players in the team are fit enough to come in and challenge the Gabonese team at this point?
First of all, let me correct an impression you just made here. Victor Osimhen is just one person.
Okay.
But they are in a team. You know what?
No, I'm talking about their form.
Their form. Without the form, their form working together, Osimhen will not deliver.
Okay.
That Osimhen had an hat-trick in the last game was because the balls were supplied to him from the midfield.
Now, do you think those balls can be supplied to him?
If you can play a Benin Republic 4-0, why can't we do it to the Gabonese side?
But and doing it to the Gabonese, this Gabonese side has equally had a record of playing pretty well over the qualifications.
Playing well. One thing you should understand about Gabon, they have their head-to-head against Nigeria. Nigeria has always been the top.
Are we really going to cling on the head-to-head against
the team presently? They feel if we don't go to this World Cup, it is nothing. That's what now what they're saying, the World Cup or nothing. So they are putting all their minds together in this game. If you check all their statement all through since yesterday till now, you understand that the team they're motivating themselves that you can't just go there and do it. You have to go there and deliver.
Okay, so going there and deliver is one thing, and then we still have the Nations Cup ahead of us coming through. Now, I really want to ask this all-important question. A lot of Nigerians, would want to know, which is talking about the Nigerian head coach. Now, the Nigerian head coach has, beyond doubt, proved a lot of things. Under his watch, I think the Nigerian team has not really lost a match. I think it has always not been very rosy, but at the same time, he has managed to always escape one way or the other. Now, do you think this Nigerian coach should continue? Because he came at a point where a lot of things were in chaos with the Nigerian team. So, do you think that we should continue with him, go with him to, after this qualification? If this qualification goes south, do you think the Nigerian team should equally still go with him or, bring him down at the end of the day?
I don't think that Eric Shell has anything to do with the national team when it comes to the World Cup. Of course, a mandate was given to him. You must qualify this team for the World Cup. But I think that for him to have accepted to take the job means he knows what is at stake. But I really would not blame him. I think the blame should go mainly to the NFF because you see that earlier from the World Cup qualification stage, you saw what was happening, changing coaches from here and there, and then bringing Eric Shell to come and salvage the remaining points that is there, and he has really done his best to even bring Nigeria to this stage, that's the playoff stage. I mean, there's still hope that Nigeria can still qualify for the World Cup. I think pretty well, Eric Siku Shell has really done well for the national team and should be given the nod, even if he qualifies Nigeria for the World Cup or not. I think he should go to the Nations Cup, and maybe there we can now begin to see if he has the credibility to coach the national team. But so far, so good. He has proven that he has all it takes to take this team to a very greater height, and I think he's doing a good job with the national team.
Okay, doing a good job with the national team. Do you equally buy that particular narrative?
I think since the inception of the World Cup qualification, this has been the first time the Super Eagles are playing as one, and it's as a result of Michelle being the one in charge. Prior to this World Cup qualification, we had 3 coaches that have worked with the Super Eagles before Michelle came in, and presently now he is the one on top of the game. He is delivering. He is the one that is even making us to play this playoff, because without him we won't be in the World Cup. We will be thinking about the World Cup. So I think with this alone, he needs more time to blend in with the team.
Okay, so yes, definitely, giving more time to the Nigerian head coach to be able to blend with his players. And of course, the Nigerian players, on the other hand, are delivering as a team to be able to see that Nigeria comes, at the tops against the Gabonese team, having the Gabonese team as another very big rival. I'm talking about big rivals there. I think Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, being one of the highest goal scorer in the history of that Gabonese team, I think he is very resilient because he wants to really go for this World Cup too. So it's going to be a very tough one. But a lot of other persons saw what it would look like as regards the officiating Pepo in charge, and then they became skeptical having a South African as the head referee at that particular one. Do you think it will affect anything at all as regards this match against Nigeria and Gabon?
I mean, it shouldn't be a topic in the first instance, because you don't. A referee is here to officiate game. Take aside where he's coming from. There is what we call laws of the game guiding football, and if the referee is doing something contrary to what is guiding football, I mean, there is a problem. So we're talking about the officials coming from South Africa is not something that one should look at all, because there are people that he must answer to, and those people put him there based on his integrity, his credibility, and I mean, we shouldn't be talking about the officials. This is a FIFA World Cup playoff. You don't expect someone that is in this kind of competition, for somebody like that to come mess it up because he has he has a beef with Nigeria. South Africa and Nigeria have beef. So because of that, when the South African official comes to officiate the game, it will now become he is trying to favor the other side against Nigeria. I think that's something that should be thrown away. It's not. This is a big stage, and I don't think anybody wants to jeopardize his own career just because he wants to personal grievance or emotion. Take away emotional sentiment away from it, and he comes in and do his job. I think he will perform and get the job done.
So coming in and doing his job and doing perfection and taking away sentiments from it, do you really agree with you on that?
I think for me, I feel so bad having a South African that will play in the group stage and a Benin Republic also that will play in the group stage, having to officiate a match, a playoff game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because you know what happened in the group stages between them. And presently, these referees may feel I won't call it being biased in anything, but I would think they will feel like, oh, we have nothing to lose here. You understand? Let's just do our job. So for me, I think NFL should have done, as in a CAF should have done better.
What are you saying? How would they have done better?
CAF should have done better.
Because this person you're talking about has a career to protect. A FIFA bad referee should come in, hopefully wanting to go to the World Cup, hopefully, because at the end of the day, this is where they grade them to eventually invite them for the World Cup. So you mean that because Nigeria and South Africa have this beef going on online, he will now jeopardize his career just because he want to satisfy some people?
I'm not talking about the beef. I said, for me, CAF should have done better.
But
There are other referees from other nations.
So what
You should have, since this game is being played on a neutral ground, it is better you get someone neutral, someone that is not even has not been in the picture before.
Are you saying South Africa is not neutral? South Africa, we're talking about
Nigeria played Lesotho in South Africa in this World qualifiers. We've been playing almost all the games. We have played at least 4 matches in South Africa.
But did it affect the Nigerian play?
I won't say it affect the Nigerian play, but what I'm trying to say is that it should have made it a different.
Okay, they would have brought in a Sudanese to come and officiate.
Someone that
was going to be more comfortable having a Sudanese.
Someone that has that there's not like a ball attached to any nation that Nigeria.
But of course, Nigeria basically Nigeria played with almost everybody.
Yes, almost everybody. But presently, I'm talking about these current qualifiers. We had Benin, Lesotho, we had South Africa. So getting us as a referee from those nations should have been.
But Chiwende made a point when she said these are FIFA certified personnel who are equally yearning to attend the World Cup, be selected as some of the referees that would officiate at the World Cup. And I think jeopardizing that opportunity because of a particular sentiment is going to.
Can I shock you now that FIFA representatives will be there, match assessors will be there, match commissions will be there. They will be there taking account.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. He has this intention.
Somebody that wants to go to World Cup to officiate, and he will not want to.
He has something to say.
So what it means?
Let's just hope. Let's just hope
he doesn't.
It doesn't.
Okay. So one hand from somebody who thinks this should be done this way, and the other person is saying this would have been done differently if we actually approached it in another different form. But then different strokes for different folks, and I think it will definitely work out today at 5 p.m. West African time. Yes, in Morocco, live in Morocco, Mwali Hassan Stadium, Morocco. I think that is where this particular thing will actually begin and end. That is where we will know whether Nigeria has that opportunity to move from this level to another level as regards the World Cup qualification, which Nigeria has been yearning for. Remember, this particular sports preview is proudly sponsored by MaxBet, our friends and partners on this particular one. And with this, we are wishing the Nigerian team, the entire Nigerian team, of course, a very, very beautiful outing today. We hope that the Nigerian team really, delivers at the end of the day. Seeing Victor Osimhen probably giving us another hat-trick, if that is possible, or the likes of Samuel Chukwueze, complementing those things and equally coming with a brace or something at the end of the day. I think it will make sense at having Nigeria at that forefront for World Cup, because a lot of nations are looking forward to see Nigeria.
Yeah, especially with
yes. So with that, we'll say a very big thank you to you, Chimendo, for being part of this, and a very big thank you to you, my brother, Bonfrey, when they agree, for being part of this particular one. And see you on the next episode. My name is CI0. Adios, amigos.